Look at that guy, what happened to his face? Someone whispered, laughing under their breath. The single dad, James Carter, pretended not to hear as he helped his little daughter, Lily, carry her school project into the classroom. His hands trembled slightly, not from anger, but from the effort of staying calm in a world that no longer understood men like him. Before we go any further, stay till the end of this story, because the moment that woman turned around and saw his tattoo, you'll feel the same chill that ran through every soul in that hall. And if stories of quiet strength and second chances touch your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more inspiring tales. James was a decorated war veteran, a single father raising his daughter after losing his wife, Emma, to cancer 2 years earlier. His face and arms bore scars from an explosion during his last deployment, scars that told stories most people didn't care to ask about. He worked odd jobs around town, keeping to himself, often ignored or pitied. Yet, to Lily, he was a hero. "Daddy, are people scared of your scars?" she once asked, her big blue eyes innocent. He smiled softly. "Maybe, sweetheart. But scars mean we fought for something worth it." Lily was the reason he kept going. Every night, he'd read her bedtime stories, whispering lessons about courage and kindness. But one morning, as they walked to the bus stop, a group of teenagers laughed openly. "Hey, soldier. Halloween's over, man," one shouted. James didn't respond, just held Lily's hand tighter. That same week, Lily's school announced a Heroes Day event. Parents who served in the military were invited to share their stories. Lily was ecstatic. "Daddy, you have to come. You're my hero." James hesitated. Crowds made him uneasy, and the thought of standing in front of people who might mock him again twisted his gut. But one look at his daughter's hopeful face was enough. "All right, kiddo. For you, I'll be there." When the day came, the auditorium buzzed with excitement. Parents in suits and polished uniforms filled the seats. James wore his old service jacket. It no longer fit right, but it was all he had left from his active days. He could feel the eyes on him, the stares, the whispers, the judgment. As he stood waiting for his turn, a young father leaned over to another and said quietly but audibly, "Guy looks like he barely survived. Should have stayed home." James felt a sting in his chest, but he didn't react. When it was his turn, Lily proudly grabbed his hand and led him to the stage. "This is my daddy," she said into the microphone. "He's my hero. He got hurt saving people." The room fell silent. James spoke humbly, his voice deep and steady. "I served with good men and women. Some didn't make it home. These scars, they remind me that they gave everything. And I promised to live a life worthy of them." He finished his speech quietly, earning polite applause. He sat down, heart heavy but proud that Lily had smiled through it all. Then, suddenly, the doors at the back of the hall opened. A tall woman in uniform entered, her presence commanding, her eyes sharp but kind. She was General Sophia Reynolds, the guest of honor, there to speak about leadership and sacrifice. The crowd straightened immediately. But as she made her way to the front, her eyes caught James's arm, the edge of an old, faded tattoo peeking from under his sleeve. She froze mid-step. The room noticed. James looked up, puzzled. The general's expression shifted from formality to disbelief. She whispered, "No, it can't be." She walked toward him slowly, eyes locked on that tattoo, a winged emblem with the words, "Echo Unit 7 until the end." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Sergeant James Carter," she said softly, her voice trembling. The audience turned, whispering. James stood, startled. "Ma'am." "Yes, ma'am." She saluted him. Then, in a move that shocked everyone, she embraced him tightly. The hall gasped. "Echo Unit saved my life," she said through tears. You pulled me out of that ambush in Helmand. I never got to thank you." James blinked, emotion overwhelming him. "You were there. I thought no one made it. I did. Because of you." The room was dead silent. Those who had mocked him earlier lowered their eyes in shame. The same man who'd laughed about his scars now stood awkwardly, unable to meet his gaze. The general turned to the crowd. "You see these scars? They aren't ugly. They're the mark of sacrifice. Men like Sergeant Carter are the reason people like me are standing here today. Remember that before you judge what you don't understand." Applause erupted. Real applause, thunderous, emotional, and sincere. Lily ran to her father, hugging his leg tightly. "Daddy, you're a hero for real," she said, her voice trembling with pride. James smiled for the first time in a long while, tears rolling down his cheeks. The general placed a medal in his hand, one he was supposed to receive years ago but never claimed. "This belongs to you, Sergeant. And so does our respect." That night, as they drove home, Lily held the medal in her tiny hands. "Daddy," she said softly, "I think Mommy's proud of you up there." He squeezed her hand, eyes glistening. "I hope so, sweetheart. I really hope so." And for the first time in years, James didn't feel broken. He felt seen. So if you ever see someone with scars, visible or not, remember, they're proof that a person fought battles most people couldn't survive. Respect them. Because behind every scar is a story of courage. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us of the strength and beauty of the human spirit. Because sometimes, heroes don't wear capes. They just carry their scars, and keep walking.